And this is Gregory Burris, your Automated Business Solutions Coach, now talking to you about web traffic generation and how to drive thousands of eager prospects into your marketing machine through mass advertising. Good news for you is that there are endless ways to advertise a website, which is your business, and every method, when done correctly, has incredible potential. I love watching the internet grow because as it expands and as more websites and more networks of sites keep popping up, it just means more virtual real estate for us to place our ads on. It means more prospects who are looking at what we have to offer. This doesn't mean the internet is the only place we can advertise, though. The offline world is much bigger and has been around a lot longer than the online world. It has advantages that the internet doesn't, and many people in the newer recent generation of business owners forget about it. So, all the offline methods that are capable of creating avalanches of sales and leads for your marketing system, but this just makes it more effective when you use the online systems too. And if you combine them together, you see that the most profitable business owners use both. So here's a partial list of some of the online and offline methods available to us. There's e-zines, joint ventures, postcards, pay-per-clicks, direct mail, banner ads, press releases, newspapers, blogs, viral marketing, writing articles, viral marketing, social marketing, CPA offers, forums, online videos, cell phone ads, how's that for the one that's starting up? And the list could go on. The idea here is to let you understand that it's not just about offline, it's not just about online. Each of these methods is literally an entire world unto themselves. So, what we do here is we touch on some of them. Just know that if you really learn how to do advertising and you master these core fundamentals that are common to all methods, you could devote the rest of your life to finding new ways to get the message in front of your people, and you would never run out of things to do. So, focus is the key. So here's a couple of pieces of advice. They may seem to contradict each other, but if you put them into context, you'll see they don't. Don't keep all your eggs in one basket with just one method of traffic generation. It's a great way to lose your entire source of prospects in one fell swoop if something goes wrong. So yeah, we say focus, but you got to protect yourself. So you want to branch out into as many different streams as you can. This cushions you against the ups and downs of the market or the good old Google slap, or somebody changes their way of offering you their advertising method. You have some protection by doing more than one thing. This is extremely important for long-term stability. Not only that, but if you only make use of one method of advertising, you're not even coming close to reaching your full potential. Because each different advertising media slices up the world in a different way. Each method reaches audiences that the others don't. And some people never use a search engine. Some people only lurk in forums. Some people only read the newspaper. Some people use the internet so much they've forgotten what an actual piece of paper feels like. Is that me? Some people only listen to radio on the way to work. Some people won't respond to any type of advertisement at all, but will gladly take advice and give money to someone who publishes good articles. So, you never know. There's no one method that is the be-all, end-all, regardless of every email you get in your inbox. That said, there's a ton to learn, and it's easy to want to have your hand in everything. But by trying to do it all at once, you'll quickly find yourself overwhelmed and most likely wind up with very little to show for it. So, just when you're getting excited about one technique, something else catches your attention and pulls you away from what you're doing. This is not a good cycle to get caught up in because you know it. A whole month and 100 great ideas later, and you haven't actually implemented a single one of them. So to start off with, I am advising you to just pick one of the methods, devote yourself to learning it inside out, focus your efforts, master that technique, and generate some consistent results, and then move on to the next one. Now, there's one thing we should cover before getting started. There are two different kinds of advertising: image building or brand advertising and direct response. Brand advertising is the kind of advertising that uses lots of logos, slogans, and pretty graphics. It talks about the corporate team, the company history, you. It is not designed to get people to take any particular action after viewing the ad. Its only purpose is to hopefully get customers to remember the company or product. This kind of advertising makes people feel good about their businesses and encourages them to spend enormous amounts of money on thousands of ads that usually can't be tracked or proven to work. This is the kind of advertising you see Fortune 500 companies doing. Think animals, frogs, geckos, penguins. Unfortunately, it's also the kind of advertising most people think to do when they start their own business. The problem with image building advertising, it takes a lot of money and a very long time before it starts to work, if at all. And even then, there's no way to prove it. It's working because the ads can't be tracked. They're not asking the project to take any action. They're not asking the prospect to take any action. Direct response advertising, on the other hand, asks the prospect to take a very specific, very measurable action after viewing or listening to the ad. For example, filling out a form, calling a phone number, or placing the order. This kind of advertising focuses on the prospect rather than on a product or company. It addresses their core emotion, and it talks about exactly how exactly the reader can benefit from what's being offered. Every single step of a direct response ad campaign can be tracked, tested, and optimized over time. And usually, after placing any kind of direct response ad, you will usually know very quickly whether it's working or not. This is the kind of advertising you want to be doing. In order to be truly effective with direct response advertising, you need to have an understanding of copywriting, and you can click to learn more about that. At this point, it's time to go in more in depth on the individual techniques. In this program, you'll find some of the best resources and training anywhere for different online and offline methods. Understand what we're saying. Branding you is very good, but do not get lost in the branding, because the branding doesn't ask for a specific action. The bigger companies get actions due to the fact that they do so much of it that sooner or later you're happy to do it. And that's where you want to be. You want to brand enough to get your name out there, but then you want to start using direct response tactics so that you can track and measure your efforts and see the results of your efforts. So we're not saying it's good or bad. What we are saying is attraction marketing is like branding, and you're going to see you'll have a great time putting stuff up. At some point, make sure you're tracking your efforts. So even if they're coming from the pretty picture of you, then make sure the pretty picture of you has a link that goes to a product or service that requires a direct action. And how many times, and here's a tip, do you see people put their pictures up, and if the person clicks the picture, it goes to a bigger picture of themselves? Well, enough for liking yourself. Get a link under your picture that takes them to, say, an About You page that has an offer or something requiring an action. So with that in mind, here today at Success is Mandatory today, we have traffic startups, we have traffic growth, we have traffic explosion, and we've just recently added traffic automation. And when you get here and you start learning these traffic driving strategies, you will amass thousands, and I mean truly thousands of people into your pipeline. And as a quick reminder, this is Gregory Burrows, your Automated Business Solutions Coach, and if you haven't signed up for our free traffic training, well, I advise you to come on over to successismandatorytoday.com and get on our list and join in the fun of building your business on the web. Thank you, and have a great day.